News Desk. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We are on DTT because we're free to work. Coming up this morning, Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwul assures his ministry is taking steps to restore lasting peace in Garu after military officers stormed the community and brutalized some residents. We have details as he confirms the suspects are national security operatives. Also, NPP presidential aspirant Francis Adainimo warns skewed flag-bearership race will harm the NPP's chances in the 2024 elections as he takes on the rhetoric of his fellow contender, Kennedy Ejapon. We have details as we put the spotlight on two-time presidential aspirant Adainimo in the first of our special documentaries on the 4 aspirants in the race. Plus, JoyNews' Erastus Asaridonko adjudged the PAV and Journalist of the Year at the 27th edition of the GJA Awards. We'll tell you about the awards night and several other team members at the multimedia group who were on it. Plus, Presec, Opokuwari and Achimota School to clash at the grand finale of the National Science and Maths Quiz later today. We are live at the camps of the contesting schools ahead of the first battle. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do stay for details. Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwul has assured his ministry is taking all the necessary steps to restore calm to Garu in the Upper East region. Over the weekend, some military officers stormed the community and brutalized civilians without any provocation. Several sustained injuries in the course of the assault. It is unclear what exactly triggered the incident. In an interview with JoyNews' Blessed Sogan, the minister identified the suspects as national security operatives. We'll hear from him soon, but first, here are some residents recounting the experiences.
We were in the room, I and my husband. So they came and they were knocking. So we thought they were armed robbers. So we defended ourselves, not knowing that they were soldiers. So they came in and started scattering our room, asking us to bring out gas, which we don't have. All our rooms, our doors, they break everything and started beating my husband. That is what happened. They beat him until they sent him out. They beat him to the station. It's not fair. We don't even know why they are doing that.
Now, one of our guys fainted. Whether he will survive it or not, we are not in the picture. We don't know what has happened. Some of our members are not there. They've taken them away. In fact, there is what we call lawlessness in this country. And the president and the minister of defense must be answerable to this, because we Garu people, we are not just laymen like that. We are also human beings. We enjoy human rights. And we cannot allow our brothers and sisters to suffer this kind of humiliation. It is out of bounds. We must state it categorically that if this is what the NPP government want to bring to the people of Garu and the entire Kosak, then they should better back up, because I know that for sure in Ghana here, if there's going to be anything that will bring about chaos in this country, it's going to be about some of these things and nothing else.
What has happened? Garu here is a very peaceful area, peace-loving people, and we have enjoyed this peace for so many years now. We don't know what the military want and what they want to plant in Garu, so that there will be insecurity for us here. In fact, we are highly disappointed in the act that
DCE and MP for the area have been speaking to the incident.
He has not denied that the invasion of Garu was something which happened at their end. There's no denial, and so I take it that the military is responsible for the brutalities in Garu. I've seen the images and it's very disturbing. I mean, in this time and age, that our military would visit such brutality on the people of Garu, definitely something must have provoked the military action. But there cannot be any justification for what we are seeing. I am reliably informed that there was some attack at the Garu police station there was some shooting incident at the station. Now, if that is why the military moved in, kept the whole of Garu under siege, moved into people's homes, and tortured them to pulp, I would say there can never be a justification for such conduct. Look, those who must have engaged in the shooting incident at the Garu police station ought to be fished out and dealt with in accordance with law. So for the military to step in and then subject the youth of the town, the men, of Garu to this kind of treatment can never be justified. And I want to condemn the action of the military. Why? Because this is coming on the back of a similar incident which happened at Ashaman, which became the subject of a parliamentary probe. I thought that lessons would have been learned, but it appears that, we are not learning lessons at all, and these things keep recurring. It's unfortunate, and well, these are matters that ought to be investigated. At the moment, I cannot say for a fact that the operation was sanctioned by the High Command or some soldiers were on a frolic of their own, which is why I ended my statement by indicating that we shall push for an investigation, particularly given the fact that this is coming on the back of a similar incident which occurred at Ashaman. As I speak, the committee's report on Ashaman is ready and will be debated by the House as soon as the House reconvenes.
Inferences are strongly pointing to the attack on the national security vehicle. I've not had categorical response from the military though, but then this morning while we were there with them to sleep with them to see with us, inferences were, where were we when the boys were attacking the vehicle and all that. So there are strong inferences to the attack on the security vehicle. But as it is now, our concern was to quickly remedy the situation and then as quickly as possible convene as DISEC and then fashion a way out of this whole thing and then to ensure that we are not going to have this again. So as of now, the status quo is that people are responding to treatment at the various at the health facility in Garu. We've had to invoke the presence of the doctors and then also more logistics to be able to take care of people who need the medical attention. And we've also we also have it now that the military have completely withdrawn from the constituency. They are not in the district anymore. They have gone back to camp. And so calmness is being restored. Today happens to be a Garu market day. I had to speak through the radio, the FM station in Garu to calm the tension and the fears around. And so the place is relatively calm. Looking forward is that tomorrow morning, DISEC is convening, involving all the security operatives within the district to fashion a way forward and then to see, to get our recommendations forwarded to the Regional Coordinating Council and then forward to Accra and to Interior.
From the minister who says investigations will be carried out to deal with the culprit.
Working very hard to ensure that Ghana remains very peaceful and that all persons who work for the security of this nation work to the best of their ability and are given the equipment that they need to be able to work. Specifically to the 4 people that you mentioned that apparently some people misjudge them and try to apprehend them. They are in fact members of the national security apparatus, and they were actually sent on official duty. There could have been there was some miscommunication somewhere along the line and mistrust. It's one of the things that we are trying to resolve, because there's some bit of mistrust in the general Boko area. people try to assume things that may not be right, and maybe because they don't have the initial information may try to do things that may not be right. But we are concerned about that mistrust, and we're taking steps to address them. So we are taking steps to ensure that Baku becomes very peaceful. We are taking steps to address the issue of general mistrust, and we are taking steps to ensure that not just Baku but the entire northern zone is relatively peaceful and safe. If there are people who are not members of security agencies, we will let you know.
Well, security analyst Adib Sani has been condemning the attack. He spoke earlier on the AM show.
I think there is a bit of a gap, a disconnect between state security on one hand and the people on the other hand. And it is further exacerbated by the spate of misinformation and disinformation that is coming up from that area. Look, we have Facebook pages belonging to the two sides of the conflict, where pictures of certain individuals are posted and threats made to the effect that we know who you are, we have your picture, and we are going to come after you. And Benjamin, believe it or not, such people are in the end killed. Okay? In some cases, there are some individuals on the ground who are able to disseminate false information about the movements of certain persons they think are working closely with the other side, okay? And within minutes, they are able to galvanize people to engage in some of these acts of lawlessness. And I do agree with the level of proliferation of small arms and light weapons, especially military-grade rifles, including AR-15s, M16s, AK-47 in the area, is quite worrying. In some cases, the weapons they hold, the civilians, is even more potent than that of the military. And there has been a consistent pattern. I'm not in any way, Benjamin, let me be clear about this.
Away from the Garu attacks, NPP Flagbearer hopeful Francis Adainimo is warning the NPP will struggle to break the 8 if it does not take steps to fix the race, which he says has been skewed in favor of the Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia. With barely 5 days for the more than 200,000 delegates of the NPP to elect a Flagbearer for the 2024 elections, Francis Adainimo, who is running for the second time to lead the party, says the rhetoric of Kennedy Japan, his fellow contender, is concerning. Here are excerpts from the documentary focusing on the former Mampong MP.
With just a few days for more than 200,000 delegates of the governing New Patriotic Party to crown a new person to lead it into the 2024 election, the race is heating up and the rhetoric is hitting a crescendo. One of the 4 out of the initial list of 10 party stalwarts who made it from the Superdelegate Conference is Engineer Adainimo, who is seeking to lead the NPP for the second time after his first bid in 2014 failed. Welcome to the story of Adainimo, a man whose life is intricately woven with the fabric of Ghana itself.
I'm a 58-year-old man. Precisely born on 23rd March 1965, and I come from a community under Mampong in Ashanti region called Nyinampong, just 5 kilometers away from Mampong, where both parents of mine they come from. So I'm an Ashanti by birth.
Adainimo says he's a leader who solves problems, a trait he believes is essential for any visionary. This is what has inspired him to run to lead the NPP into 2024.
I believe in problem solving, or I'm a problem solver, but not a problem creator. In life, we must find solutions to issues. Don't deliberately attempt to create problems which shouldn't exist.
Adainimo's message to delegates is clear, presenting himself as a fresh and unsullied candidate.
Right now, there are 4 of us remaining in the race. In terms of age, I'm the youngest. I'm 58 years. The Vice President is 60. Honorable Kenya Japan is about 63 or 64, one of them. Honorable Usofri Yakuto is over 70. In terms of age, I'm the youngest. However, in terms of the leadership race or flag bearership race, I'm the senior. This is my second attempt, and the rest of the three, this is their first attempt. So if you are going by seniority, I should secure the nod to lead the party with the experience and with the grassroots work that I have done in the party.
He strongly believes the playing field has been skewed to favor Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
No, the playing field has not been leveled, and it is admitted. It is an open secret because we have certain key party senior members who openly declare support for one particular candidate. I mean, if it is private declaration of support, fine. But in open declaration of support, MPs, they constitute themselves. We are a bloc from this part of the country, and we are urging all our people from that bloc of this part of the country to go into this direction. No, we don't do it that way. Then already the playing field is what? It's odd. It's not even. Intimidation of delegates, coercion of delegates. What we saw in the superdelegates elections of August 26, where party executives, at the regional level, we have some executives who are appointed, 7 executives at the regional level who are appointed. And if there is a threat that if you don't toe this line, you will lose your position as a regional officer.
The determination in Adainimo's eyes as he aims for the highest office in the land is clear. He says he was taken aback by the decision of Alan Trematin to leave the party, conceding it will greatly affect the chances of the party in 2024. The twists and turns of political competitions have always been unpredictable to Adainimo. He says the rhetoric of Kennedy Japan will not help the party, urging him to campaign on issues as he has been doing over the last few months.
The style of another candidate may be different, and I will leave it as such. But of course, if one makes pronouncements and those pronouncements seem to be detrimental to the good image of the party, in promoting the unity amongst the party members, then those pronouncements become matters of concern to all of us. And I believe, yes, they are matters of concern.
Away from politics, let's now turn our attention to the Akosombo Dam spillage, where the Jadel Foundation has gone to the aid of other affected areas aside Mepe.
In an interview with the media, the program lead of Jadal's Foundation, Ms. Davida Papu, indicated that the primary focus of Jadal's Foundation donation lies in ensuring the menstrual hygiene of women and girls, providing access to potable drinking water, sanitation, and ample food supplies. These essentials, according to her, are vital for the health and well-being of the flood victims.
Donation is based on the wash needs, that is water, sanitation and hygiene. So we are donating toiletries to all the households in the community. We are also donating buckets that with tablets, water purifying tablets that they can also use to get potable water. For the girls and the women in the community, we are donating sanitary pads with toilet rolls as well. And then also we are donating food items to the whole household. So we hope that they will utilize all the items judiciously.
Now, earlier, some of the flood victims complained of not receiving the much needed support and were not able to feed their families because of the hardship being endured due to the effects of the flooding.
Here I am hosting almost 20 households, and in each household, people in one household is averagely, I can say 6 in each household. So when you want to take a creditor, meaning about 5 to 6 households are in one room. Those who are sleeping outside are not part of it. So today we pray to God. The army came for one intervention that they were putting up the tents so that some of.
Robert Justice Aye is the human resource manager for the Jadaus Foundation.
Because of the spillage that happened at the Kosombo Dam, we realized that we're supposed to do something. So the chairman of the group decided, why can't we do it? Because people are giving out. So we saw a need. We said, no, it is important for us to also give some things. We also realized that even though people were advising us, why can't you take it to the king or is it the queen mother? We decided it is better for us to give it to the people one by one, because I understand people were, taking the things elsewhere.
Ivy Satoji, JoyNews, Mepe.
Member of Parliament for the One West Constituency, Superintendent Peter Lanshin-Tobu, has called for more empathy and support for the flood victims. He knows though the issue is a man-made one, and for that matter not about government, it is still incumbent on all to donate to the victims to ameliorate their plight.
Member of Parliament for the One West Constituency, Superintendent retired Peter Lanshin-Tobu, in a brief remark before he donated the 25 bags of maize valued around 30,000 Ghana cedis and a cash amount of 5,000 Ghana cedis, urged Ghanaians not to put the responsibility of working to relieve the pain of the victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage on the government, but complement its effort by helping with relief items to ameliorate their suffering.
The chiefs of WAWES, members of the National Democratic Congress of WAWES, brothers and sisters who all agree to contribute to support our brothers and sisters in the Volta region, I stand on behalf of the whole constituency to express my appreciation, to say thank you very much. That is humanity. Ubuntu. You are because I am, and I am because you are. When the people of Volta region are in crisis, and you sit and think that it is not you, one day when it is your turn, there wouldn't be anybody around to help you. I, standing on behalf of the people of WAWES, believe that today, as we present 25 bags, maxi bags of maize, and I'm going to add 5,000 Ghana cedis to support my brothers and sisters in the Volta region. I am challenging everybody in this country, show some love. It's not just about government. It's about the fact that we are Ghanaians. And the Ghanaianness in that should show when a brother or sister is in need. It is agreeable that this is a man-made disaster, but it has come to stay as a disaster. There is nothing we can do about that. All we have to do is to try to see what we can do to relieve them from the pain, from the misery, from the disaster.
Superintendent retired Peter Lanshin-Tobu is at a loss as to why up to now no one has shown up and claimed responsibility over the incident.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of blessed memory 60 years ago constructed the biggest man-made lake in the world. Surprisingly, over 60 years down the line, we created a man-made disaster. And that is why it's very difficult for the government to call it a national or natural disaster and national emergency. Because this is a planting. We spilled the dam to prevent total collapse of the dam. Why it was not spilled incrementally to prevent this disaster is a question that remains unanswered. Why nobody is demonstrating responsibility by resigning to show that I have failed on my job, I slept on my job, is a question that remains unanswered. But as people of WAWES, whatever it is, the people of the Volta region are suffering.
Upper West Regional Organizer of the NDC, Bahara Thomas, received the items on behalf of the Upper Regional Executives of the party for all sending to the victims of the disaster. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam.
Manager of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, John Tahiri, has justified the company's decision to cut power to some major health facilities in the area. Mr. John Tahiri, in an interview with JoyNews, disclosed the exercise is solely for the survival of the company. And Asabit has more.
The Northern Electricity Distribution Company in April this year embarked on its mass, revenue mobilization exercise. Several institutions, including individuals who owe huge sums of monies, were, visited, and the company was able to retrieve several thousands of Ghana cedis that its customers owe them then. In fact, the exercise is still ongoing. As I speak to you, it is in its third phase. This time around, major health institutions or health facilities across the region have been, the targets, because most of them are owing huge sums of money. This morning, I'm here at the Techiman area office of, NEDCO, engaging the area manager, Mr. John Tahiri, on what informed the, company's decision to embark on this mass revenue mobilization exercise.
The most recent health facility to have been affected is the Bono East Regional Cold Room under the Ghana Health Services. Mr. John Tahiri tells me enough engagements were taken since April, but all attempts to get managers of the facility to make payments has proved futile despite the intervention of the Bono East Regional Minister along the line.
It is not just about the regional cold room. We are doing revenue mobilization, and we are using disconnection as our last card. It is not pleasant. We don't like it. So further engagement went up to our father, who is the regional minister. He invited all stakeholders. Then we deliberated upon the way forward, and he appealed to NEDCO to restore supply to the Kintampo cold room. And after that one, we restored supply. We also followed up with a disconnection notice, and there was no response to any of them. It was as if we were being called some kind of bluffs. So we took off the supply.
Mr. John Tahiri tells me that this exercise is not targeted at any individual or any individual institutions. Of course, it is for solely the sustenance or the survival of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, which equally buys power and then sells it to its consumers.
This revenue mobilization exercise is for NEDCO's survival. It is not just for profit or whatever. It is for survival. So if we are unable to mobilize the revenues that we sell power and mobilize the revenue from this power sales, we procure electricity. We don't generate. So if we are unable to collect the money from users and consumers, then it is not just sustainable. NEDCO cannot survive.
Managers of NEDCO, however, believes that there is the need for a stakeholder engagement between affected consumers and NEDCO on the need to arrive at a lasting solution to the matter.
Like I said, we all admit that there are challenges. And managers of health facility and stakeholders, let me put it that way, stakeholders need to engage further, because we have come to a stage where if we want to move forward, we must be engaging more and more to find a way forward.
He however admonishes, consumers, particularly institutions that are affected, to, conserve power, to use power judiciously, because by doing so, they will be able to minimize their bills and be able to, pay for the amounts they are being owed.
Like I have always said, energy conservation is a way of saving money, and also a way of saving power for other users. So that will make room for us to extend power to places where they do not have power. So if you conserve energy, it is good. That will minimize electricity bills and make it affordable.
So this has been the developments here from the Techiman area office of the Northern Electricity Company. Reporting for JoyNews, my name is Anas Sabit.
Back in the studio in Accra, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. According to a report, the new circular vision for electronics, time for a global reboot, published by the UN in 2019, each year, approximately 50 million tons of electronic and electrical waste are produced, and out of that, only 20% is formally recycled. The report says if nothing is done about it, the amount of waste will be more than double by 2015 to 120 million tons annually. To tackle this, Electro Recycling Ghana is urging all Ghanaians to join hands in the proper disposal of electronic waste in order to save the environment. There's more in this report.
Some school children dismantling and reassembling electronic waste into useful product. This is part of efforts by the Electro Recycling Ghana (ERG), an electronic waste recycling company, to enhance environmental sustainability as part of the 2023 German Day celebration in Ghana. According to researchers, the e-waste problem could expand into a global health crisis, largely affecting urban areas if not addressed. To help deal with this concern in Ghana, ERG is embarking on a mission to reutilize most of the electronic waste that find their way into Ghana. The general manager of ERG, Kweku Adai, says this must be a concern for every Ghanaian.
The e-waste contains chemicals, toxic materials. We normally find them in the oceans, along the river bodies, and we drink them. And in fact, we are bringing toxic materials into our body. And that is jeopardizing our futures. We can die, we can get sicknesses that cannot be healed, and we don't have the money. So the time has come for everyone in Ghana to join the crusade. Mobilize all the discarded materials, discarded electronic and electrical materials in your houses, in your homes, along the streets, in the communities, for proper dismantling, proper repair person, so that we can leave Ghana the way we want it to be.
JoyNews' Erastus Asaridonko has been adjudged the GJA PAV and Journalist of the Year. Erastus elaborates documentaries on the devastating effects of illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, stood tall among all the entries filed. JoyNews and Multimedia Journalist won up to 8 awards on the night. There's more in this News Desk report.
The 27th Ghana Journalists Association Awards was dedicated to celebrating journalists who produced exceptional reports in the year 2022. JoyNews' Erastus Asaridonko, who was adjudged the GJA PAV and Sun Journalist of the Year, shares his excitement.
I have with me here the GJA Journalist of the Year from our very own office, Erastus Asaridonko. Please tell us how it feels to be awarded this evening.
Well, it's been a long journey. We started way back in 2002. We've gone through thick and thin. I started following illegal mining in 2014. And it's been ups and downs, and I think Jehovah has glorified his name. He has been faithful. So it signifies that hard work pays. And the road to success, though it can be winding, if you keep following it, you'll get there.
All right, please tell us about the documentary that won you this award, this Distraction for Gold, if I'm correct, and what were some of the challenges you went through while doing the story?
Well, so Distraction for Gold is what won us this award, and the challenges are plenty. In fact, we had to challenge ourselves because previously we were following a government task force to go and monitor what is happening on the field with regards to illegal mining and its devastation. At a point in time, we felt that we needed to do an independent job, go on the field on our own, and gauging the security, meeting people with guns and all that in the bushes. It was a daunting task, but we needed to do it to prick the conscience of government to prick the conscience of those who do it, and to also tell the public that these are the effects of it and we need to fight it together.
Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Jean Mensah, urged journalists to be custodians of truth and engage in objective criticisms as the country approaches the 2024 elections.
I urge you to stay the course that these great names have blazed, even as we approach the 2024 election. This is more important than ever. For ladies and gentlemen, recent years have raised concerns regarding the role of the media. Several media platforms which would have been used as spaces for informed public debate have been turned into vehicles for propaganda and sometimes sheer falsehood. We see the result in the deepening polarization of our dear country across party lines. Citizens no longer see things through the eyes of right and wrong. Indeed, this is a worrying trend, to put it mildly. And so as we go to the polls in December 2024, it is important that you bear in mind that media freedom, while sacrosanct, does not equate to freedom to deceive. You should rise up and take up your roles as custodians of the truth. You are duty-bound to do so.
Information Minister Kojo Pon Nkrumah condemned attacks on journalists, adding that the trend is worrying.
Colleagues, tonight, as we take pride in celebrating the positives, permit me to raise some 3 issues confronting journalism and media practice in Ghana at the moment. First is the attacks on journalists. The phenomena of attacks and intimidation of journalists and media houses is sadly not decreasing. Indeed, at the Ministry of Information, our data suggests that it's getting worse. It is a disheartening trend, becoming a darkening blot on our democratic credentials as a country. Journalists should not have to fear for their safety while doing their jobs. Journalism is a noble and important service to our nation. It is not a crime.
Joy Business's Emma Davis was awarded the Business and Economic Journalist of the Year.
I have with me Emma Davis from our business department here. You won Business and Economic Journalist of the Year. How does it feel?
Feels great, feels nice to know that you are being appreciated or recognized for all the efforts you make and the stories you put out there. I mean, journalism is about telling stories, about making sure you make an impact. And the story I used to win the award was about youth in agric. And I mean, the agric sector is the sector that has a lot of potential, provided the youth they are ready to get their hands dirty.
The Investigative Journalist of the Year and Female Journalist of the Year went to JoyNews' Francisca Angel.
It's overwhelming. Like, when I heard of the Best Female Journalist of the Year, I was in total shock because these were the same awards I won last year. And so to be able to win this same awards this year is an overwhelming feeling. Knowing that when it comes to reporting in Ghana, I've been the best female journalist for 2 years in a row is just inspiring. I feel so blessed.
Okay, so what do you have to tell ladies who are afraid to go into the investigative space? Because we know this space is mainly dominated by men. What do you have for young ladies who look up to you?
Okay, what I can say to the young ladies is there are different forms of investigative journalism. You don't really need to be an undercover journalist to be an investigative journalist. It is just a matter of we focusing more on doing in-depth reporting. And so anybody at all can do investigative journalism.
Joy Prime's Emmanuel Jivianu won the Best Disability Reporter Award.
Well, I'm excited to have won this award. This is my first award I have picked up since entering into journalism. So I'm very much excited to have won this award. It tells us that hard work pays. When you put in hard work into everything you do, you reap the benefits. This is a story we told about a 4-year-old boy who has been abandoned by the mother, and the father took the race to take care of him. So this is a story that was so dear to our heart, and we are grateful to God that it has won us this award.
Joy FM's News File won the Best English Radio Program, while the GJA Komla Dumont Most Promising Journalist of the Year award went to Nita Krisabiana Paskram of the Multimedia Group.
Congratulations to all the awardees. We're so proud of you. Let's get on to the National Science and Maths Quiz. 3 schools, 9 contestants, 2 proud regions. It is only a few hours to the climax of this year's National Science and Maths Quiz as undisputed champions Presec Legon square up with Opokuwari School and Achimota School. But many are asking whether it will be a repeat or a revenge. Presec Legon having the past toppled the 2 schools to clinch the ultimate prize at the grand finale, while Achimota School is seeking to end the reign of the city rivals. Opokuwari School is yet to figure out how to requite the Presecans after they missed the trophy to the Odadiers in 4 final clashes. Emmanuel Bright Kweku brings us a wrap of the journey of the 3 schools.
After a long and nail-biting journey from the regional qualifications to the national tournament, 3 schools are set to battle it out for the coveted trophy. 2-time champions Achimota School and Opokuwari School will face off 7-time champions Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. Their journeys to the grand finale has been arduous. Coming all the way from the regional qualification to the grand finale, Achimota School showcased their mettle at every stage of the competition. The school last qualified to the finals in 2009 but lost the trophy to Presec Legon. But with unbroken determination, the Achimotans left no stone unturned.
After the contest, Achimota School is going to be in prison because we are going to murder Presec and OAS. We are going to murder Presec and OAS. Simple.
We are living our test to a test still, no matter what, we will win.
No matter what, we win. You don't see any threat ahead.
We don't see anybody. Like we are coming with a force. You see the energy, the energy.
It's been 21 years since they last lifted the trophy. Opokuwari School, after missing the trophy in 2020, landed their 9th final appearance after ousting their all-time foe, Pempe College and Pope John SHS and Minor Seminary. The Akatechis are hungry and ready to devour any school to clinch their 3rd trophy.
My boys are prepared. And I know that we are going to murder all of them. We are going to kill them. We are going to kill them. We don't know Presec. Who is Presec? Opokuwari School. Opokuwari School 2023. We are winning. We are winning. Who is Presec? Achimota. We will take their trophy from their hometown and bring it to Ashanti region. Fantastic.
Form 1, and he's already lasting the Form 3, who have stayed it for 3 years. We are just trying to say that 1 year in Opokuwari School is worth more than 3 years in Premped and Presec and Co. Yes.
We want to tell them that there is a Latin phrase which states cum dagrafa, dagrafa. So what is written? What is written? It is written that we are bringing the trophy in Kumasi. It's between 2 schools, and I want to tell them that Achimota Presec, they will better and they will become second. Presec and Achimota, they be Yaros.
This is that school. I want them to go. This is that school. I want them to go. Hey, I wanna be on that.
With their mantra, our living God is faithful and great, 7-time champions Presec Legon is anticipating their 8th trophy. The school, since their painful exit in 2018, has proven to be an invincible force, securing their seats at the grand finale for 5 consecutive years. The defending champions began their journey at the 1/8 stage, eliminating Konongo Dumase and Kumasi Wesley Girls. Proceeding to the quarter-final stage, the school met their all-time city rivals Accra Academy and Ghana Secondary Technical School. In a fierce strive to yet again repeat history, the boys withstood the heat from the Kwabuchi boys to topple them and qualified to the grand finale. The Odadiers are optimistic of a back-to-back win.
I trust in Patel Hotel and Selling now because this contest is something easy. We can do it because it's easy, bro. Yeah, we can do it because it's one-sided. It's everyday Presec, and the schools we are meeting, I don't see them to be competitive, so we can win.
Achimota and Opokuwari, we are going back to do our homework. We are going back to work hard because it's not over. We are taking the 8th trophy. 8 is written, and we believe in a great God. And we know that our God is faithful, and so we are taking the 8th trophy.
But time can only tell if victory, the Trinity, or a great God will be the winning mantra for the year. For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright Quickly.
We'll take a break on JoyNews Desk. When we return, we're live in Achimota School to check the atmosphere as they head towards the grand finale. Stay with me.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. The National Insurance Commission has indicated its commitment to improving the coverage of insurance through the development of InsurTech products through its InnoLab InsurTech Accelerator Program. The move, which is a collaboration with FSD Africa and GIZ Ghana, will see the development of digital insurance products aimed at ensuring inclusive insurance through the creation of digital labs and sandboxes. Here's more in this report.
The InnoLab InsurTech Accelerator Program is a collaboration with the National Insurance Commission, FSD Africa, and GIZ Ghana to create a robust InsurTech sector in Ghana. The collaboration will see the development of digital innovations in the insurance service delivery through sandboxing and digital labs, which will allow indigenous tech startups to showcase their innovations. Acting Commissioner of the National Insurance Commission, Michael Andor, describes the aim of the project.
We agreed to do what we call the InnoLab. This is a lab, is a lab basically to bring ideas together. People who have ideas, take them through some process, help them to refine their ideas. We mention a sandbox, but if you read the Insurance Act, you will not find any sandbox in it. What you would find is this innovative insurance license. But it is a sandbox system. A sandbox is where you test, is an area, a restricted area where you test something and see whether it will work before you take it to the market. And so that is exactly the opportunity the InnoLab gave us.
On building capacity of insurance players and regulation, this is what Michael Andor had to say.
The other thing we get from the InnoLab is the capacity building. Tech and innovation keeps developing. And as we are embracing innovation, we are calling for things that we don't know much about. And so it is important that we as regulators get to build the capacity of our staff, so that as they develop these things, we will be thinking about what is the best way of regulating these. You see, the regulation in the digital world tends to be different from the paper regulation. You need to think through what could go wrong and have some mechanisms around it to mitigate it.
Principal Innovation and Resilience at FSD Africa, Elias Omondi, stated that the move will improve the rate of inclusivity in the insurance sector.
We came up with a proposal which was humbly accepted by the National Insurance Commission here, to look at avenues in which we could encourage innovators to develop solutions that would basically, at the end of the day, improve inclusion. With that, then, we started a program, and this particular program was called InnoLab, InsurTech Accelerator Program, that looks into ways in which you invite innovators within an ecosystem to develop solutions, at the same time come up with avenues that they can really create strategic partners to drive the growth of insurance in Ghana.
All right, Member of Parliament for the Northern Constituency in the Volta region, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has lauded Unilever Ghana PLC for showing care to the victims of the flood caused by the Akosombo Dam spillage. He says the company has been with the people through thick and thin over the years and has been compassionate during the flood disaster. Mr. Okudzeto-Ablakwa disclosed this to Joy Business when Unilever Ghana PLC donated a truck of relief items to the victims. Tama correspondent Kwame Yanka has more.
North Tong District is considered the worst hit district following the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. 69 communities in the district have been affected by the flood, displacing over 12,000 people, with a third currently being held at a number of safe havens in the area, including Mefe St. Kizito Senior High Technical School. Beyond the efforts of government, corporate bodies, organizations, and individuals are lending a helping hand to ensure life continues for the people in distress. In line with this, Unilever Ghana PLC has donated relief items including soaps, water tanks, water purifiers, Anapuna salt, Pepsodent and close-up toothpaste, branded t-shirts, among other items, to the victims. Receiving the truckload of items, Member of Parliament for North Tong Constituency, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, together with other officials, thanked Unilever Ghana PLC for their support.
Really massive. I mean, a whole truckload of assorted items of water, and this has been the most, impressive packaging of water that will go a long way to help our people. Water is cut, and it's been really difficult to have access to potable water. The river levels rose so high and entered into all kinds of areas that are unwholesome. So the river water, which our people use to cook, to drink, to bathe, wash, and all of that, is no longer safe. It's no longer wholesome. And so this will really go a long way to keep our people healthy and keep them alive. So on behalf of the entire district, on behalf of the chiefs, on behalf of our DC, on behalf of NADMO, on behalf of the coordinated response team, we say a big thank you to Unilever. We will always remember you. We are grateful. God richly bless you.
Communications and Sustainability Manager of Unilever Ghana PLC, Henry Malm, says the donation is towards the general well-being, health, hygiene and confidence of the victims.
At this time when people are burdened by damage that has been caused by the spillage, people have lost livelihoods, where to sleep and all that, and this is a time when disease can easily break out. So.
All right, and that's it for the segment. Handing over to you, Aisha.
Thank you very much, Daryl Kwao. Let's get straight to Achimota, where my colleague Michael Ashali is there picking the atmosphere in the school as they present themselves for the grand finale of the National Science and Maths Quiz. Papani, what can you report from the Achimota school?
Hello, Aisha. So, because quite a lot is happening here at Achimota, but they are doing the most important reason for which they are in school in the first place, which is to study. So at the moment, every single student here in the Achimota school is in classroom. However, we're expecting this auditorium that's expected to seat more than 1,000 students today. Every single student is expected to be here right after class ends at 12:30. But before that even, a lot of preparations are going on. So just outside here, you may not see it. Some people are trying to trim the bushes. The students have come to already arrange the sitting area. We'll start in an order of importance. Teachers will sit in front and then students will go to the back. There's a big LED screen that has also been put up here so that every student here, this is a big watch party and it's been a while. The last time Achimota was in the final was in 2009. So since then, they haven't been there before. So this sort of frenzy, this sort of expectation, this sort of anticipation, and again, the anxiety, they have not gone through it in more than 10 years. However, this year, students from Achimota expect and they hope that they will beat Opoku-Ware School and then that of Presec Legon. Talking about these two schools, Aisha, maybe I want to run you through their history, what has happened over the years. If you take Opoku-Ware, Achimota and Opoku-Ware has never met before in any finals before, especially in the National Science and Maths Quiz. So at the finals, Achimota has gone to the finals 4 times, the last of which was in 2009, and unfortunately they lost that to Presec. But Achimota is not a small school when it comes to the National Science and Maths Quiz. They are arguably the most successful non-single-sex school in the contest. They are the only mixed school to have won, and they have won twice. That was in 1998 and then in 2004. Unfortunately, 2 other times they were in the finals. They met Presec, and Presec beat them and won. So they are hoping to rewrite history today, especially because a few months ago this year, Presec also met them at the regional championship. And unfortunately, again, they lost that out to Presec. So this year, they are hoping, Aisha, to rewrite their history and again also firm up their name in the National Science and Maths Quiz as the only single-sex school to have won before.
And that is Papania Shale at 2 p.m. on the JoyNews channel. The grand finale is on. Remember, it's 1 p.m. The build-up starts from 1 p.m. and it's between Opokuwari, Achimota, and the Great Legon Presec. And the question is, will Legon do their thing again, or this time around we will be going to another school? You need to stick on this channel for all the sights and sounds. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. See you again at 12.